Hello everybody, we're back here with another review, and today we are reviewing two figures from Wave 2 of the Godzilla x Kong the Empire toy line. Today we have Tiamat with Submarine and Battle Roar Kong, which I actually had no idea that they were coming out with Battle Roar figures. I think they had Battle Roar figures in the Godzilla versus Kong toy line, but I think they have Battle Roar Kong Godzilla, but now they have Battle Roar Kong, Battle Roar Godzilla Evolved, and Battle Roar Scar King. And looks like Kong is my first Battle Roar Godzilla x Kong figure. Tiamat with Submarine, my first other Titan figure, other than Godzilla, Kong, and Scar King and Chimo. I've never gotten Tiamat, so now Tiamat is the first of the Wave 2 that I've gotten. So we're going to go ahead and look at Tiamat first, as I want to save Kong for last because there's something unique about him, which you'll see later. So it says Godzilla x Kong the Empire. The obvious description in the back: Godzilla and Kong return an all-new adventure, pitting the almighty Kong and the fearsome Godzilla against a colossal undiscovered threat hidden within our world, challenging their very existence in our own. Obviously, you know that's classic description. Fully articulate and posable. Let's see why. Tiamat with Submarine. Deep in the Arctic Ocean, the bioluminescent power of Tiamat pushes back the darkness to reveal intruders like the Monarch Recon submarine. That's a pretty good description. So yeah, that's a new description for Tiamat. Monsterverse on the back. And here are other figures to collect. We already have Godzilla Evolved, Godzilla Kong with Beast Cub, Zuko with Titasta, Chimo, Scar King with Slash. But we do not have Kong with Battle Axe, however. He has a Battle Axe, of course. I'm surprised they never released him the first time Wave 2, but I guess since Kong had the Beast Gauntlet, they would go ahead and release Kong with the Beast Gauntlet first. Also, Godzilla Energized. As you can see, that this is a callback. This model is based off his appearance when he takes in the radiation from the power plant in France, when he was fighting off the French Air Force. And he also, this form also stays with him up until the time he battles Tiamat, battles and kills Tiamat, then takes the radiation from there, thus transforming into Godzilla Evolved, which is a state we all know him at for. He also, Godzilla Energized, he also has a jet, as you can see. So that would go with him, recreate the scene, so one jet. Alright, see, but this Tiamat was Submarine, so all the figures from Wave 2 come with things. But Kong comes with Battle Axe too. So Tiamat comes with a submarine, as you can see. It's a pretty decently sized submarine. But it should be like that since the Titans are huge. So, let's get Tiamat out. From the first string. Easy. There's string around Tiamat's neck right here. Oh, it's already coming out. Cut myself a little. Okay. We've got to reach around the spines without cutting Tiamat, of course. There we go. And there's the plastic in the back too. Yeah, this is gonna be a little difficult. All right, Tiamat's out. Oh, it already feels flexible once I take it out. Submarine's in the back. Sorry, the submarine's easy to take out. There you go. Oh yeah, I was touched by some tape. Full of strings. Alright, so let's take a look at Tiamat. Man, Tiamat is super flexible. I thought, honestly, the first time I saw images of this figure, as well as in videos, not really videos, but videos of the images, at first I thought that Tiamat was just going to be a solid figure like this. I was like, oh, that's a real bummer, because Tiamat is supposed to be flexible. But no, Tiamat is super flexible. The body literally rotates all the way around. So the back end is very flexible. So is the tail. The tail's highly flexible. The middle is very flexible. So is the front torso. And obviously the frontal area where the arms are. And the middle of the body, of course. Okay, so Tiamat, honestly, the figure of Tiamat honestly looks different from how she appeared in the movie. Here's the notable differences. So, yes, the limbs are right, you can see. But Tiamat always didn't used to have limbs, obviously, as we saw in the graphic novel Godzilla Dominion, which takes place after Godzilla King of the Monsters, released in 2021, before Godzilla vs. Kong. Tiamat didn't have limbs. So looks like the new form that she took in Godzilla X Kong made her grow limbs from the extra energy there. So she has spines. There's spines all over her body. That's right. She did have many spines. There are sharp fins, actually. So yes, that is right. A very long tail. She appears to be a light aqua blue. The aqua blue looking color. Along with light purple. Obviously, yes, the limbs are right. She grew limbs. The color also kind of fades away here, as well as at the bottom of the neck. The underbelly to the chest is all white. But man, this is highly flexible. I can't even keep it still. Can't keep it in the way it's supposed to go. There are also the petal appendages, but we all know that okay, look, the colors are not the same as in the movie. You see, in the film, Tiamat was black with bioluminescent pink glow that she was emitting from her body. So she had a pink glow, and her fins did look somewhat like this. They got it pretty close to it, though her fins were more like fish-like fins that were sharp and would obviously flex. But they got this right to make it articulated, because it can't just be a solid figure. It has, we know Tiamat can maneuver around very quickly, wrap around, swim faster the water, wrap around other titans, and is very flexible. So they would have to make the toy highly articulated to simulate that. The petal-like appendages on the front of her face, they also got right, but obviously they were black with a pink glow rather than just being plain yellow. They did get the tendrils right. You see there are two tendrils, feelers sticking from the mouth, as well as two in the back. Obviously the bottom feelers on the bottom jaw, as well as here. So we see the mouth has, you can see there are some teeth up there, though they're the exact same color as Tiamat's top skull and jaw. So they're kind of hard to notice. But they did a pretty good job with the pink here. They try to simulate the upper part of the mouth, as well as the bottom, as it is supposed to be the tongue. There are no teeth here. So I wonder what it was. So it does match, because I definitely think they should have made the top part of the skull the same color as the body and the legs. I mean, the body necessarily purple because of the spines, but obviously the legs are blue, and you can still tell the blue's there. So yes, that was a good idea, making the skull blue to match with the legs and the other blue parts of the body, so it could go smoothly with the purple spines. The jaw is also very articulated. It opens really wide. Tiamat can open her jaw really wide. Also, this thing can also stretch. Can stretch really wide, but the articulation is just very good. They had to make the articulation like this. Tiamat's a very flexible titan, so yes, it has to be like this. So this has to be probably the best articulation I've seen in any MonsterVerse figure. Yes, Tiamat is a very good figure, nonetheless. Despite not having the same colors or the same exact sculpt of Tiamat in the film, definitely like a unique take on the figure. Yes, Tiamat is great. I'm happy to have my hands on this figure and add it to my collection. Alright, so now we will take a look at the submarine. So the submarine, obviously you can tell it's submarine. The pump on the bottom. The propellers right there. Front of the submarine. Yeah, this is a submarine. The paddles right there. And the front of the submarine. You can see it's much smaller. You can see it's much smaller than Tiamat. Obviously, Tiamat has to be bigger than submarine. This thing could fit in her mouth. So I'm glad that they made the submarine not too big. I mean, all of these accessories are small anyway, but this is how big the submarine probably would be compared to Tiamat in the film, as we saw it in that one scene. Purple fins don't go all the way to the tip of the tail. And from what I remember in that one scene, Tiamat's fins did go from the tail, but I can't quite remember. But I mean, her whole body can't be covered in fins, so that was a pretty good idea to not have them go all the way to the tip of the tail. Yes, great figure anyway, and great accessory. So now we'll put Tiamat aside. Now, for Battle Roar Kong. So let's have a look on the back of the box. So we see Battle Roar Kong right here, as we already have. Battle Roar Godzilla Evolved. Wonder how that's gonna look. Probably the exact same as the Godzilla Evolved figure I already have. Though it's not much of a difference, because one difference is that it can roar. Obviously, my figure does, the original figure, solid figure, does not roar. Now, we also have Battle Roar Scar King. Wonder if the roars, just like Kong, if the roars of Godzilla and Scar King will be straight from the film. That would be pretty good. I already tested his roars. Yes, his roars are straight from the film, like you're about to hear. Pashira Monster Battle Roar sounds, but we're going to take him out. He's kind of wrapped around the string here. Looks like his arm was wrapped around one of the strings here. His arm's curved like that. Alright, so this Kong, the immediate thing I noticed is that this figure is huge. Honestly. He is huge, and also... activate the sounds a little too late. Alright, so one thing I want to point out is that his arm, it's not straight like this arm. His arm, for some reason, is curved like he's flexing or about to punch. So I'm also wondering why they did this. It could be that he's trying to punch, but then again, his fist is a little too his fist and arm is a little too curved and close to his face, so it makes it weird. Because how was he supposed to punch? I guess it kind of looked like he was trying to punch or slam the ground. I guess slam, but though this arm honestly looks like it's better at punching, simulating that he's punching. It also is kind of flexing. So arms have very good articulation, up and down, all the way around. Though they cannot go forward and backward. So they can only go up and down all the way around. His fists also rotate very good. Fists have good articulation. They can rotate all the way around just like the arm. So can this fist. So you can kind of make his fist look like he has a different gesture. Another thing I also noticed is that he is made of very hard plastic, honestly. I don't think even my Godzilla or other Kong figure, Kong with Beast Glove or Godzilla Evolved, are as hard as this Battle Roar Kong. Like, why is he so hard? That is still what I'm wondering. He also has the same scars, though, and yes, he is definitely bigger than Kong with Beast Glove. You can see the speaker, which is where the roar comes out of. And as you can see, his face is actually rubber. His face is rubber. And that's actually a change, because most of the Monsterverse figures have no rubber material to them. Though I have a feeling that this was actually to make his face more flexible so that he can roar. His mouth can open. So let's see it. Yeah, so pretty good mouth movement. Really does look like he's roaring. Also, the roars do come straight from the film. Most notably this roar. Yeah, that roar is definitely straight from the film. Also, I really can't get over every time I stretch his face like this. His face can also, okay, look, that may be funny, but we can also make him look angrier. I mean, he already looks like Kong, but if you lower his brow like that, he looks even angrier. And that honestly looks even more like Kong. Yeah, I like, also, his face isn't the only thing that's rubber. The back of his neck is also rubber. And so is the underside of his neck. Man, this is probably, I honestly like this Kong figure even more than Kong with Beast Glove, honestly. Mainly because he makes sounds, his face is rubber. So he stretches his mouth like that. Just as we said before, his face is just completely rubber. This is literal rubber. His face is rubber. But also, Godzilla X Kong, every one of the Godzilla X Kong toys has not had any sort of rubber material. So basically, the first being Battle Roar Kong. Though I do not know if Battle Roar Godzilla Evolved or Battle Roar Scar King have rubber material on their faces. We'll just have to find out once we get them. Though, honestly, if that is the case and they do not have any rubber on their face, actually pretty freaked out because, like, what was the need to make, Battle Roar Kong's face rubber? Though I do like it. It is unique because, one thing I want to point out is that it's crazy how they were able to keep the same paint job from the plastic figure, from the normal figures, and keep it on the rubber exterior of his face. That is insane. They keep the same paint job. How they kept it on rubber. Though if you feel under his head, you'll still feel solid plastic. So it looks like the rubber's just built over it. Also, let's go ahead and compare Battle Roar Kong to Kong with Beast Glove, which I reviewed in the past. And yes, right off the bat, we can all see Battle Roar Kong is much larger than Kong with Beast Glove. And obviously, I already stated before, the reason why I like him better is because he has a rubbery face, which allows him to be like more realistic and show further facial expressions, such as roaring, grunting, growling, and stuff like that. Also, his arms may not have the best position, but they still look like he's ready to fight, better than me. But I still prefer Kong with Beast Glove's fully articulated arms over Battle Roar Kong's just solid arms in one position. Only his fists can move, but his arms can still move, so that makes it still a little better. It's still a little better. I also like that he roars. Obviously, Kong with Beast Glove does not make any sounds. Now, of course, this is what I was trying to mention. He is larger, which makes it even better. Though maybe as we compare him to Godzilla Evolved, then that's when things aren't as realistic, because that's the only downside about him. He may be bigger than Kong with Beast Glove, though he has a less realistic size to him. Though I still like him better. But he does have an accurate size compared to that of Skullcrawler. So you can see Kong is definitely this big compared to Skullcrawler. Yes, that's accurate to that. We also want to compare him with Godzilla Evolved to Tiamat. Yes, perfect size. That's exactly how big they were in the movie. Tiamat was probably a little longer than this, though, I have to say. So, might not be able to wrap around Godzilla fully. Yeah, maybe not all the way. Yeah, not like in the movie. Maybe if you articulate it good enough, then it could simulate that. Oh, and I also forgot to mention is that Tiamat's jaw honestly looks more like that of a beak than a jaw, because I see it's curved. Also, I also forgot to mention the skull is also very detailed, especially on the back of the head and the frontal jaw. It's very detailed. So are the scales. Anyway, guys, I'll see you guys in the next review. Goodbye.